Okay, this is John. I've had several requests for a video on how I make my mutes with a aluminum beverage bottle and a plastic canning funnel. I know the lighting's not good. I know it's just on a computer. But this is what I got. First of all, I get these canning funnels. They're plastic. You can get a Nor Pro for like $237 at Ace Hardware. These are from Arrow. I get them at Walmart for about $1.25 each. You know, there's what they are. And what I do, I had to buy a Dremel tool. I couldn't figure out how to cut them without them cracking. I ruined a whole bunch of these. When I turn on my Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel, and I cut the handle off. It pretty much melts it off, and then I smooth it out. Using it more as a sander. Now you can see there's some rough edges, but with a knife, I think you can see rough edges. Yeah. With a knife, you can just pop those off. Next, I like to cut slits. I've tried different numbers of slits. I found 8 works the best with this cutoff wheel. And I'll try and change the angle. There are 4 reinforcement lines, and I normally go to one side of the reinforcement lines first, not right on them because it's a little thicker there. And I normally start right at the junction right here, put it straight down, and then go towards the end so that I get a uniform distance on all of them. So I'll just do this. Hard to do here. Alright, so you can see that. I'll do that 8 times. I'll do it around next to these reinforcement lines, and I'll go all the way in the centers. Okay, so I've got my 8, and they're really rough. A lot of melted plastic here. So I just take a knife. I'm using a Sears Craftsman. You can use a Gerber tool, you can use a paring knife, anything, and you just go right down, and those little rough edges pop right off. Then I sometimes go in the center. There's a few little rough things. I can pick my knife and just run it along the edge, and it knocks those down. Now it's not going to be perfect. It's a cheap mute. It sounds pretty good. So continuing, I've got my cup. I've got my beverage bottle. I put 3 pieces of cork on here. Now I put pretty thick corks on because they're different bell flares. Typically people have to cut a whole bunch, file a whole bunch of cork down, or it'll play pretty out of tune in the low register. But you just see how this goes together now? And you can put it wherever you want it. You can have it tied up against the bell. You can have it pretty open. And you can put a sock in it, slam it up against the bell of the horn, and it makes a pretty good practice mute. Just again to show you. That's pretty tight. Pretty out of tune. I'm going to have to really file these corks. So I'll come back and show you how that changes. Okay, so I filed these corks. I used my Dremel tool. Just took them down. A lot less than they were. Not quite half for me. I'm going to show you how much just a little bit of filing does. So just a little bit of filing and the darn mute plays pretty darn well in tune. Again, you can have it out a little bit. Up quite a bit. Or you can use it as a straight mute. So that's how to do it. You can adjust it. It's fun. I hope if you make them, they're so easy that you will give some to some underprivileged schools. If you need places to do, I know a music school in Haiti that would really appreciate them. They serve underprivileged kids there, but there's plenty of people in our own country, schools cutting budgets. You know, you go buy a mute for 30 bucks, or if you get an adjustable cup mute, it might be 45, 50 bucks, or you get a straight Humes and Berg and Humes and Berg cup mute, and you're going to spend some money, and you can afford to give these to some kids, or give these to the school to let the kids use for free. And it's a nice little project. And it sounds halfway decent. And by the way, you can get these cups. Walmart only carries them in red, but they're available. If you get a Norpro, I think you can get them in brown or green. If you get this mute from the Aero Plastics Company, they're available in quantities of 24 in white or blue as well. So you can get some custom colors. You can also paint the bottle. You could paint the cup, have some school colors. Everybody be the same. I live in Nebraska. Red's a popular color. Hope you have fun with this.